Insider, and so I decided that Money in the Bank in London coming up, and it's gonna be the first time at a premium live event in another country. And you know what? I thought, fuck it, I want to do Money in the Bank, well, 3 Money in the Banks. So I had thought of some really cool ones, in my opinion. So let's get started. I think this is gonna be fun, and why not start with this one? 2011. This show was interesting, and it would be a precursor to the future. And we go into, let's say, the Survivor Series. Let's see, this one was actually in July, so before SummerSlam. And this was in Chicago, Illinois. The Bears! So, we'll get to that main event when we get to it. But this show was awesome. So, yeah, here we are. We have a dark match, which is a take team. We got Santino Marella and, yeah, I said it weird, Vladimir Kozlov defeating the New Nexus, which was David Otunga and Michael McEllicuddy, aka Joe Hennig. And didn't see this match, but you know, it's a team of Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov, a Italian Russian take team, if you will. The 2010s version of, I would think, Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, in my opinion. But anyways, the New Nexus. Now, yeah, it could have went somewhere. You know, the Nexus was a good idea at the time, a year prior to that. You have this faction coming in from NXT, and, you know, despite what you think, yeah, John Cena buried them. Was it the right call? Well, you have a lot of those guys wrestle for a long time in WWE. You got Heath on Impact Wrestling. You know, Stu Bennett went on to NWA, then he came over to WWE as a commentator. Yeah, I'm not sure why he doesn't wrestle no more. Justin Gabriel in Japan. You know, I know there's a lot of others, but anyways, Joe Hennig, he's a producer on the show, so that's pretty cool. David Otunga is elsewhere. I'm pretty sure he could still wrestle if he wanted to, but anyways, yeah, so there it is. So you have the Money in the Bank, a ladder match for the World Heavyweight title. It's got Daniel Bryan, Cody Rhodes, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Kane, Sin Cara, Sheamus, and Wade Barrett. So, again, we have the 3 members of the Nexus who, you know, again, these guys really took it to each other. There was a point, though, in the match that stands out where Sheamus threw Sin Cara on the ladder, and his Sin Cara a long time just convulsing on the ladder. It was one of those things, too, where you have another wrestler from another country in Mystico. And at the time, I was a big fan of CMLL. So it was very cool for me to see something like that. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. He got replaced by Hunico, Sin Cara, and yeah, whatever. It happens. So, we got Daniel Bryan, who won the world title. Obviously, if you know that history, it was basically very cool to see that. Of course, the year before, I think it was the year before, No, it was actually this year, I think, where Bryan had won the title from Big Show and then lost it to Sheamus. I could be wrong on that. I'll have to look that up. But anyways, this was a pretty good match, and I mean, they used the ladders to their advantage. I think that was pretty cool. So you got a singles match for the Divas Championship. It was Kelly with Eve Torres, who defeated Brie Bella with Nikki Bella. And yeah, the Divas title, you know, I know they were trying to get with the times. I just, yeah, I get it. They were called Divas. Let's have a Divas title, but a butterfly, really? But, anyways, Kelly won. It was an okay match. I mean, was she a good wrestler? Meh. I think the Bellas are much better in the ring. Hell, even Eve Torres was a very good wrestler. So, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Kelly. I just think that... Actually, it's funny how you go from being a dancer on WWECW to this. But, you know, it is what it is. Not, yeah. Got a match, Mark Henry and Big Show. It's kind of funny now because you've got Mark Henry and Paul White are now guys that are in AEW, like Bryan Danielson and Cody Rhodes is back in WWE now. But this was a good match. Two behemoths who would later go on to the Survivor Series of this year. This was a good show, no pun intended. This match went to Mark Henry, doing 2 splashes, the body, you know, to Big Show, and then going on the top rope when he put Big Show's leg on a chair, and then of course jumped off, breaking his leg. So I got Big Show on the stretcher getting carried out. And yeah, this was an interesting match. I honestly thought it was an ambulance match, but it wasn't. So there it is. Oh, there was an ambulance there. That's why I guess I thought it was an ambulance match, but this was a good match nonetheless. Got Money in the Bank for the WWE Championship contract. So you have Alberto Del Rio, who defeated Alex Riley, Evan Bourne, Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, The Miz, R-Truth, and Rey Mysterio. And it's kind of cool to see Matt Sydal in this match because this guy was obviously in a dark place at this time, I would think, and that's why he eventually got released. You obviously see The Miz today, which I think is kind of cool. You know, Kofi Kingston, one of the best wrestlers, starting the match. Actually, it was Ray that started the match, jumping off the top rope onto those guys. Alex Riley, there could have been a better push for him. He did come back a couple years later with a new look, but it didn't go nowhere, unfortunately. So, you know, the match for the World Heavyweight Championship, one of many matches. If Orton was disqualified, or if he was poor officiating, Orton would lose the title. So, yeah, Randy Orton was the champion, and honestly, I'm not sure what the hell happened here, but this was a good match. There's a lot of good spots in here. Not their best match, I think. I think their match at Extreme Rules was better. It was Christian going over by disqualification, but then you have Orton RKO him on the table outside. And yeah, they would have many good matches. The only thing that really kind of pissed me off was Christian, with his one more match thing, he really became the whiner that I think was kind of, sort of reminiscent of Bret Hart. You know, another Canadian that is portrayed as a crybaby, and for some reason I didn't like that. Obviously, at the time, I was not a Randy Orton fan. I didn't like him at all. So the fact that Christian did have the World Heavyweight Championship was pretty fucking cool. They have the main event in the WWE title. We're in Chicago, so of course you've got... Well, here's a little backstory. CM Punk got injured. He was the WWE Champion. John Cena came back. There was that whole fucking tournament where he actually beat Rey Mysterio after Rey Mysterio won the tournament. John Cena came back. That whole bullshit happened. So then you have CM Punk come back. He's got the Cult of Personality song by Living Colour. And yeah, this match, I mean, Vince tried to get CM Punk out of the company. He didn't like him, obviously. And at the time, I was a huge CM Punk fan. You know, looking back at this whole thing, this is very reminiscent of recently with Jon Moxley winning the title after CM Punk got injured, and then CM Punk coming back. I know that was vice versa. So they had their match, and then shit hit the fan. So now I'm hearing it from a different perspective. Now jump to 2011, go there. There was the same thing. John Cena had the title, but CM Punk never lost the title. So it was basically title versus title. But this was a really good match. A lot of good spots. You even have CM Punk hit a Hurricane Rana, which I think was pretty cool. And again, like Randy and Christian, this was a good lengthy feud, and they had some really good matches, you know, and that was the thing about CM Punk, is he really pushed the envelope, and he really, like, WWE at the time was very strict on a lot of things, and I think that was stupid, but CM Punk really pushed the limit, and I think that was cool. And so you have CM Punk finally winning the match. Vince McMahon comes out, brings out Alberto, tells him to cash in. Alberto comes in the ring and basically gets a GTS from CM Punk. And of course, CM Punk beats him, and then Vince gets pissed off. But of course, the classic leaving the ring and going through the barricade with a kiss. So, yeah, leaving Chicago with the title, you didn't know what was going to happen. CM Punk threatened to go to a different company. That obviously never happened, but it was a memorable time for me as a wrestling fan, especially for WWE, because I thought this match was awesome. In particular, I think that going forward, you would definitely see a lot of these things that would happen in the near future that would make the year even better. So, I mean, for what I had said about CM Punk or Phil Brooks in general, I'm finding out new information, new things. I still don't know where I stand with him, but it is what it is, I guess. But this was a good show all around. And next I will talk about Money in the Bank 2013. Talk to you in a bit. Bye.
Anymore. So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. But I think that there's this myth out there that Jamie Keller that's why he took pleasure in cutting WCW. I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you look at some of his earlier interviews,